Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Firm Report. It is Pat Hilton and Zach Hoffman on another beautiful Monday, bringing you the heat. Zach, how are you, sir?
I'm doing excellent. How about yourself?
An absolutely beautiful day to live the American dream, my beautiful friend. And we've got some awesome inquiries that we're getting about our spotlights, about our reviews, about our law firm marketing tips. And so, Zach, give us the rundown for today. What do we got on the horn?
Yeah, so to open up this week, we got our settlement wins spotlight coming from Instagram Leaders Board. Our second topic we're going to go into is the CE of the week, continuing education, day trading attention from Gary V. We're going to highlight the book and talk about some topics that he's highlighting in there. Then we're going to move to digital creator spotlight, where we have Andrew Simcoe, the Florida defense lawyer. And then we're going to go into scholarships and legacy and how you can plug yourself into the local market and essentially promote yourself by, I would say, supporting your local bar association. And then we'll get into the power of reviews and why you should really emphasize looking into building those up for your firm to build up the overall credibility.
Dude, I love it. And as I said, we're starting to get some lovely people watching, so thank you for tuning in. And Zach, let's jump into topic number one and give them the heat.
Yeah, for sure. So to open up the week here, we have our settlement wins spotlights. So when we go to our Instagram leaders board, some of our featured wins are Abraham Watkins. They had a $201 million oil and gas workplace accident settlement. Then we move forward into Morgan & Morgan, Andrew Parker Felix in Orlando with a product liability case. And then we go into the Perrickman Law Firm with a knee and back injury construction site accident. And then the Dordick Law Group, once again, $3 million medical malpractice neurological damage case. And then we go into Ranama Law with a $1.5 million work injury, an infection in the workplace exposure. Essentially, they took that one home. And then Samuels Reynolds Law with a $900K work injury, brainstem injury, initially denied by workers' comp, but then it jumped over to really lead to a successful outcome.
I love that. I mean, the power of consistency and putting yourself out there. That's the name of the game. That's what we focus on here on the show.
For sure.
Your voice matters, and now's the time to put it out there. You know, you could create a global movement overnight by putting yourself out on social media, and it's free to use. So we always want to encourage people on this show to get active and make your voice known and heard.
Yeah. As we move forward, when we look into continuing education, it comes in many forms. But this form of CE is a book which you can either read or pick up the audio book on Odyssey. Essentially, not Odyssey. What is it? Audiobooks? Audible these days?
Yeah,
right?
Audible.
So pick up the book on Audible.
Odyssey makes great golf putters, though.
Odyssey. I think that's Clear Channel's like second or third iteration to
but Audible for audiobooks is fire.
Yeah, Audible's fire. So essentially, continuing education. We have the book, a book by Gary V. Day Trading Attention. This can be applied to many law firms, but taking the book there, Trading Attention. Essentially, Gary V. highlights all the different aspects that you really need to focus on. And essentially, he tells people, look, for businesses today, you can't just buy audiences with money. It's all about attention. And he definitely puts the proof in the pudding. But essentially, if you look at Morgan & Morgan or other major injury law firms out there, look, you can't just take over the country with a single billboard. Essentially, they're practicing what one would call one-to-many, which collapses all geographic limitations in marketing and essentially takes marketing beyond that one-to-one interaction that a lot of practices essentially, are positioned for right now. So when you read this Gary V book, it's going to take you through many lessons as to how audiences are essentially everywhere. They could be on Instagram, Facebook, X, which is Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and many other places. But essentially, you have to identify your audience and also the right creative to be communicating with them on these specific platforms. So essentially, when you look at the platforms, it could be very different as to how people engage, whether it's a static photo, as video, or essentially some type of influencer plug.
Yeah, I love it. I think that there's so much value in just sharing your wins and making yourself available. We focus on that every single week. We stick to our resources and our tried and true stuff, our data proven stuff, and that's just to be authentic, put yourself out there and make yourself available. If you're not available, guess what? And they're clicking around, they're going to click on your competitor, and that's the person that's going to close the deal. So don't let that happen. Get out there, folks.
Yeah, for sure. And as we move forward here, look, attention is the new currency. If you're not showing up where people are scrolling, essentially you're probably non-existent. So, a lot of the biggest law firms are competing in courtrooms, and they're also competing in the feeds. Play where the eyeballs are. In 2025, there's been a lot of eyeballs that essentially move. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're in YouTube Shorts, they're on TikTok. You name it on social media, essentially there's people on various platforms. Depending on the demographic which your law firm appeals to is where you should really be honing in your particular content.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many platforms, and if you're a cross-platform poster, you can make one vertical video, and you can post it across all the platforms, and you're going to find which platform kicks you back the best results. For a lot of the law firms, we're seeing a lot of Instagram results, probably a lot of YouTube results as well, but put yourself out there and see where your audience is and then double down on the way that they like that content. There's so many factors to this, but consistency is the most important one.
For sure. And leading up to this, we were talking about how volume beats perfection. I mean, look, there's a lot of law firms and just, businesses in general that are essentially too over-focused on polished videos. And the reality is when you're competing with a Morgan & Morgan, they're just pumping out dozens of clips every week. And more posts are going to equal more reach. And the audience will tell you which pieces are hitting. And the content, it doesn't necessarily equate to commercials because the consumer sees it as raw, authentic, and does engage with the posting, if that makes sense.
I 100% agree. Not every video, I just posted something about this earlier. Like, you have to be willing to get 17 views on a video to eventually get 17 million views on a video. And I think one of the biggest hesitations people have is, oh, well, it didn't get any views, I don't want to post anymore. Listen, your first workout's not going to turn you into the Hulkster. That's going to take a lot of work and a lot of consistency and a lot of reps. You want to be a legend, you got to put in a legendary effort. Morgan & Morgan has done that.
They continue to put in the effort. They continue to put in the reps. They continue to basically invest in the content, the creative. I mean, the leap that they've made into influencer marketing over the past year has been absolutely incredible. They've reached for, I would say, the top of the totem pole when it even comes to like national reach when you're looking at influencers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that when it comes to law firm influencers, I mean, they're it. They're the standard. They're the biggest. They are the Mount Everest. And no matter where you are, the unfortunate truth is that you have to compete with those people and they want the attention. And so what are you going to do to get your piece of the pie in those markets?
Well, it's really unlocking the limitations of geographies. I mean, look, the reach of a billboard or even like a television ad or a radio ad, it's really locked by that zip code and DMA that you're buying. Whereas the reach on social media at this stage, it's still practically infinite.
Yeah, 100%. And you can't be afraid to let that reach compound over time. So be willing to put in the work and let it grow. And you're going to have spikes and you're going to have dips and you're going to have highs and lows. But the consistency over time is what wins.
Oh, for sure. And the number of topics that you could cover, I mean, it's unlimited. Now that we're in fall and you're in sports season, I mean, we all have, an NFL team or an NCAA team that we kind of have gripes with, right? The sports teams. So you can hit on those stories as well as local news related to big accidents that might happen in your market, unfortunate situations, but room for, the law firms to essentially position themselves when people are searching about safety in those particular areas. And then there's always a big event going on in any town throughout America.
100%. There's always something going on. This is America. We make moves here, we make history here, and we innovate here. And so be a part of that. Be a part of the future of the success of this country. Entrepreneurs are the backbone of this country. Small businesses are the backbone of this country. And so we always want to encourage people to go out and get their piece of the pie.
Yeah. So once again, your CE for the week is Day Trading Attention. Go check out Gary V's book. It's been out now for about a year. But all of the topics, all of the information is, top of mind and top of relevance in today's marketplace.
100%. And I've shared the stage with Gary quite a few times, and he's just one of the most down to earth people. He's always got great advice. I mean, getting 10 seconds of advice from him can be the most uplifting and inspiring and motivational moment. And I think that's why he takes so much time to give people that one-on-one time at events, books, meetups, these conferences that he's at. He makes himself available for the people, and he gets those one-on-one conversational clips, which are almost like reviews that seeing someone else be enlightened could be the moment that inspires someone who doesn't even know Gary to take action. He is a face when it comes to social video.
Oh, that book is definitely full of gems. I mean, in every which way. So even when you're listening to it on Audible, you're just going to be bombarded with ideas to implement the next day.
He's fantastic. What else we got on the hopper here, Zach?
So moving forward, we have our digital creator spotlight, Andrew Simcoe, the Florida defense attorney. Essentially, if you go check him out on social media, he's got 45,000 plus Instagram followers, 41,900 TikTok followers, and essentially 1,700 on YouTube subscribers. And essentially, Andrew Simcoe, he's a Florida-based attorney. So he's handling criminal law infractions, a lot of DUI, traffic offenses, criminal defense in general. And he really tells a great story as to who he is and who he was in the past and why he's relevant and the attorney you should be going to. Yeah,
and I think that this is just another one of those examples that, the spotlight that we do here, I think it becomes eventually this famous viral thing that people look for every week, that people seek to get featured on. And it's because I don't see anybody else in the marketing space looking and analyzing these pages for how they can get better results. And we always want to make sure that we're shouting out people that are taking action and that we're showing them the love that they deserve. It's the Gary V philosophy. When someone's doing something great and you put great positive energy into it and you show them love and you show them support, you like, share, comment on their stuff, you always get that back in return. That comes back your way. And, Day Trading Attention, the name of that book, is just exactly like what we talk about here. We want to give these people the spotlight because they earned it.
Oh, yeah. And, essentially, before he was in private practice, he was a prosecutor in Palm Beach County. So it does give consumers, reasoning as to why he is the criminal defense attorney for them. And essentially down here in South Florida, he's targeting a lot of areas. He's targeting specifically when it comes to geo-targeting on social media. He's hitting the Tri-County area and then a few areas a little bit north. But essentially that encompasses a population of over 7 million in our immediate marketplace. So you're looking at Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, and then going up into St. Lucie and Martin counties. But between all those counties, and you're looking at impacting over 7 million people in a targeted location.
Yeah, I love that. That's absolutely massive, the amount of people in that area. That's crazy. Let's hit the next one, Zach. What do we got?
Yeah, but just to wrap it up with some of the content he covers, I mean, look, he hits educational content, so like 5 things people should be doing, essentially different like frequently asked questions, so taking website content style and bringing it online onto the social media platforms. And he just emphasizes communication and being available for consultations as well with his audience. And he can commonly be seen in his driver's seat, essentially in a parked vehicle, taking his videos and then essentially blasting them to social media.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, social media is the place, and you've said this before, where people can centralize their content. We see it from all kinds of different influencers. Maybe they're on the news, or they're on ESPN, or they're here, or they're there, and they take those clips, and man, does that make them look like an authority on social media, because now they're on the big conglomerates, they're sharing it on their personal pages. There's so many ways to repurpose what you do, just like what we do here at the show, to put yourself as the social authority.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely, position yourself as an authority in your marketplace and the rest will follow.
It's awesome. What else we got on the hopper, Zach?
Yeah, so now we're going to look into scholarships and essentially creating some form of legacy within your marketplace. So when you look at the Las Vegas National Bar Association, looking at their annual scholarships and awards gala, which are coming up, we'll also highlight some like snapshots from the video itself. But there's been a number of recipients, and Morris Injury Law in Las Vegas has been a supporter of the organization and continues to be. And essentially it's creating legacy for the firm as well as the next one up at the firm. So it's creating, allegiance and potential associates for them to continue to grow. Because a lot of law firms are always looking at those next ideas as to like how to recruit people into the firm, how to position themselves as authorities in the local marketplace. And there's never been a more efficient way than supporting your local bar association and local scholarships to really, get it to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many ways to make connections. I mean, it's just awesome. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, for sure. And scholarships build leaders, not just graduates. Essentially, it's an affinity to law firms partnering and supplying them in general. And it creates a ripple effect in the ability to go forward to really just, emphasize your name in the community and, really just have a long haul communication spectrum there.
Yeah, dude,
so
awesome.
Really look at starting a scholarship for the local marketplace, students of your city or even local alma mater. It'll go a long way, as well as local bar associations or other nonprofits in the community. Philanthropy is a deep connection to creating, I would say fans in the community as well as legacy go forward.
Yeah, dude, that's totally awesome. And I mean, that whole way of providing a legacy, providing someone the education, leaving something, a door open for someone that might not have had an available opportunity, and then that person goes out and wins. I mean, what a testimonial. You can't get a better testimonial than that. Sponsoring someone's success. That's beautiful.
Exactly. Empowering their success to get them to the next level. And then, essentially they see you as that agent in the future and they want to give back. So it has that ripple effect and it just creates, positive energy all around.
Yeah, I dig it. What else we got, Zach? Let's close it out.
Yeah. So as we close out here, the power of reviews for PI firms and just firms in general. So injury marketing, essentially the potential clients are in a vulnerable state. So looking for that reassurance or other reviews in the marketplace can go a long way. That means your reputation online is going to be a reflection of your past cases as well as, the future potential outcome for those clients that are looking to potentially use you. And, like you said, the clients are, they're scared, they're hurt, they're stressed, and they need this reassurance going forward. And it's also important to have social proof out there. So the more consistent your testimonials are, the more consistently you're posting on social media, it's going to essentially go a long way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, how far of a way do you want it to go is all determined by the consistency and how much you want to put out there. So take that action.
For sure. Yeah, and sometimes like firms are completely hooked on like, reviews in this place and that place. The fact is a lot of people are always looking at social media. When it comes down to it, they might, veer to other places, but social media is definitely still, it's a crux in the conversation. They will check out the websites. They may check out the Google reviews, but definitely they're going to check out social posts and just make sure you're relevant and that you're top of mind. So peppering with some recent testimonials, videos, reviews, those will all go a long way.
Absolutely, dude. It's amazing what people are capable of when they look at what they do throughout the day. They look at their business for the results. They look at the data and they say, all right, well, now how do we share the experience, the results, and our solution with people? And we're giving you guys a lot of examples to analyze that you can implement into your marketing strategy for free, so that you can go out there and win. And obviously, if you need assistance, give us a ring. Exalts can pop in there and make stuff happen. But boy, oh boy, there's a lot of opportunity.
Oh, for sure. And, don't be so focused on necessarily like the volume or essentially like that, like the numbers as like the pure reach. The fact is sometimes it's only a handful of, 1, 2, 3, even a half a dozen people that are following you or just looking for that influence at that one moment in time. That's going to make all the difference for your firm.
Yeah, dude, totally, absolutely. So, all right, Zach, so if you could give people one piece of advice on how they can day trade attention this week to win, what would it be to close it out?
Analyze your posts. Just check out how people are reacting to your posts on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube. See where the wins are happening, where you might need to like fine tune it a little bit further, alter the conversation and post specifically to another audience, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Questions? definitely reach out to us at Exults or reach me personally on my cell phone at 954-892-1460. Essentially always available, especially from Texas. So
it's absolutely fantastic. Hit us up. Let us know how we can help you put your voice out into the world, get more clients, get more connections, and overall service more people and win bigger. For Zach Hoffman, I am Pat Hilton, Exults Marketing in the house. Let us help you. Let us get connected with you. Just shoot us a message. Shoot Zach a message. Let us know how we can help. Get on there and make some moves. Zach, as always, my friend, thank you.
Thank you.
Rock on, folks. We'll see you soon.